Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 10th edition of our BallNerd.com podcast. I'm your host, Daniel, and with me today I have Ian, Zach, and Peter. First off, as usual, I want to I want to mention our website. Make sure you check out our website, BallNerd.com. This podcast will be posted on there. It will also be on YouTube. So check that out. We have posts. We have several posts today coming up based on all different games. It could be gaming news, reviews, tips, new things that come out for games. Um, and check that out. Make sure you check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Uh, and secondly, let's go ahead and jump into whatever games we have to talk about today. First, let's talk about League of Legends this week. It's been a pretty active week these last couple weeks since this past Tuesday was the Darius patch, and no, not that. It was last Tuesday. It was Darius patch, and this coming week, this next week or coming up soon is I assume it's next week, is the Draven patch. It's Darius' brother. He's the glorious executioner, and he's running around smiling and throwing axes. Uh, and it's another AD carry from what I can tell, and Varus was the most recent one. Yeah, right. Zach, have you seen anything? Have you seen him, any of his abilities, or watched videos of him yet? It flies all the way to the fountain. Yeah, I've seen that. Yep. Yep. Yeah, his the main mechanic I've seen with him is he can throw his axe at you. I think it's his Q, and when he throws it, it pops up in the air, and there's a little mark on the ground where it's gonna land. And if you catch it, it keeps spinning, and you can throw it again. So one of the videos I saw was this guy was just literally, I think he got killed in like a bot game because he was running around trying to just catch his axes. So it's like a little mini game while he's playing. And I think his passive works with crit. Like if he crits you, which is weird that they're doing a crit passive because they had all those crit nerfs and damage nerfs with Tryndamere and GP. Um, but like, if he crits you, you take damage over time. And then I think he has something that gives him movement speed and attack speed, like a buff, kind of like Fiora's. But if he catches an axe, it refreshes it or something. Um, he's got axes, yeah. And then his ulti just throws his axes and he can pull them back. And apparently for a while you could throw them to the fountain. It was funny. But if it hit a champion, they would come back. Like you could throw it and just literally kill every creep in the lane. Throw from fountain to fountain and just reel them back. And you can actually activate it and bring it back to you. So I think it's interesting. But he walks around like smiling, like his lore and his story is all funny. He's a little fairy, I think. I think him and Tarek are gonna get along really well. Him and Tarek and Nathan Cow. Um, yeah, and also like Zach mentioned this week, they're changing some ratios on like Graves. They're changing a couple like his making his smoke screen a little bit less. So just changing very like one or two things about each one of these champions. Ari making her a little less tanky and deadly with her R and her E, which is her short range. Her ult can just be close to you, and her Foxfire, which is close. And then Graves is like nerfing the damage per bullet. No, they're increasing the damage per bullet, but something like that. They're lowering it and increasing it at the same time. And then they're making Swain better. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen that happen. I seen that happen a lot where just because the buckshot is those three bullets. He'll just he'll poke you with it and hit you with one. That's what Dak's talking about. Whereas I've been playing with Brett and he's been playing Graves lately. He's been playing ADs and I've been playing supports just because I haven't felt like playing that much, and I've just been playing Leona and we've just been literally just destroying every single lane in this little normal mode queues. Just because it's all he does is just walk right up into him and just. And then Swain's getting some changes on his Q, making it slow later levels, and his ult has a shorter cooldown, etc. Urgot's getting some changes, but the main one we're going to talk about this week is Darius. His hemorrhage. Well, it's interesting what they're doing with it. His hemorrhage, which I think is either his passive, the damage per that is being reduced just straight up because it was doing too much, and his ultimate will not refresh the cooldown. It will only refresh the cooldown if he gets the killing blow. It'll be refreshed, yeah. And yeah, exactly. It has to kill them. Yep, pretty much. That's what I thought when I saw it. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely say it's happening too often. Like I don't know how it is when you've been playing the ranked games. I don't know if Darius has been a real terror, but like in like normal modes, like when I've played a couple times, he hadn't been a terror, but it's always like somebody top with him. Or I was thinking he played against me once mid. I was on like Xerath and he was like, "Oh, I gotta pick him as Darius." Uh, it's funny, but yeah, drop him before he can ult. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. And then with the rest of his kit where he can hit you from afar with his Q, and then he can pull you in and all kinds of stuff. I think Urgot could probably do pretty well against him. Just is naturally tanky, but there are the changes they're taking to Urgot are they're reducing some of his tankiness on his ult and his shield. But I think that's probably not a bad idea, bad combo. I think I've seen people play like York against him and did okay, but it's York, so whatever. Um, I think Cody played Tryndamere against him once and lost until like got his ass kicked until like level 8, and then he just destroyed him. Yeah, like all Tryndameres, yeah, you got Infinity Edge and just killing things in 3 hits. Um, Also this week in League, they had a I guess they did this thing for like Facebook likes. If there was at a million Facebook likes, they did something, and then at 2 million they were supposed to do something, but they never did. So now there's 3.4 million Facebook likes, and so they were gonna do it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yep. I don't remember either, but yeah, it's a double. It's funny that they were doing the 34%. People I was talking to people, they're like, "Why is it 34%?" I'm like, "No, they're supposed to be like 3.4 million." They're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "But yeah, 30%, 34% is kind of a wonky number, and it's not that much anyway." If you win 100, you get 100 IP for this win. You get 34 more, but now it's double, so it's cool. So it's just encouraging people to play this weekend. I haven't. They always do this shit on the weekends when I gotta work, so it's whatever. But it's pretty much it from league this week. But I guess Draven's probably gonna come out Tuesday or next week sometime, unless they have some type of pushback. I think Darius came out like on a Wednesday and they pushed him back or Thursday. Yeah. Yep. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully some of this Darius flair wears off and he's not picked as much top or picked as much period. I haven't seen him jungle at all. I think Cody tried to jungle on him once and couldn't kill anybody. Nautilus's pull has a lot longer range. Yeah. I definitely a lot more than Nautilus, but Nautilus does have his other benefits. He's more of a helper than as a I'm gonna come in, get my kill while you're at the tower and then run away. Um, let's talk a little bit about WoW this week. Hasn't been too much going on this week. Lots of armor set previews. The set looks like this. Ooh, cool. Ooh, ooh. Like the rogue set looks like a rogue set from like a combination of like 3 rogue sets from several patches, expansions ago. Like the helm looks the exact same except it's like white. It's dumb. Poor rogues, I feel sorry for you. But there's also been some new mounts that came out with. Originally the Pandarians were gonna have a yak mount, but they changed it. Now they have a dragon turtle. So I guess they found another reason to use a turtle model in the game instead of just that fishing mount. It looks pretty cool. It's just a dragon turtle is what you'd expect. It's like a reddish purplish turtle. They can, I guess I don't know if it goes in water. I'm sure it does. They also have these little like water bug looking things. I assume those walk on water too. They look kind of funny. Yeah. What was the other mount that they had? They had the new gold sync mount a few days ago. It's like the one back in Wrath of the Lich King that had all had the seats on it, and then there's one with the vendors. This one apparently has a reforger on it, I think, and like a vendor or something. I'm not sure what it was. I think it's like 60,000 or something, which is strange. I thought it would be more than 60,000. Just because I don't know how much the gold's gonna get inflated in this expansion, but yeah, it's got a repair and it sells food and water. It has a 14 slot bag on it apparently that you can just keep stuff in, and then it's campfire materials. Ooh, no, that's one of the vendors. Well, I think it adds more. It adds something else to do besides it's another time sink instead of just raiding and doing the gameplay, the raiding, the PVE sides of it, and the PVE. It also adds a with the gold things like this. It's I think it's like a peer pressure of hey, I've got this. You guys are all sitting around Stormwind or whatever town that's popular at the time, and you're like. You get on you walk up to a friend of yours and you're like, oh, I get on my mount, and he's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Check mine out. It's a penis measuring contest. But it's getting to a point being so ridiculous. Like I haven't gotten any mounts since like Firelands. Like I got one mount, but I have like 65 mounts. So people have 100 and I don't know what the total is right now, but it's yeah. There's 101. It's a Dragonhawk. I'm not sure what the 151 is, if there's one. Um, it's a game, so there's gonna be ways to spend your time, and it's just a measurement of how much you like to do this, how cool you are. That's what all the mounts are for. Yep, it's definitely totally different. Speaking of moving away from WoW, let's talk about Diablo 3 for a little bit. Um, this past, I think it might have been actually the week before, they had a big post talking about some incoming changes, some changes to the legendaries. There's some changes to some monsters are going to change, and a couple other things. Ian, go ahead and talk a little bit about that. Arcane. Yep. He's gonna pull you in, put arcane beams in the wall and in the hallway, and then you're just gonna sit there and watch and be like, no. Oh, it's gonna come that way eventually. You know that. It's Blizzard. 1.9% of people were Inferno, as of that post. There's a lot of people like that, I'm sure. That's probably people who have Inferno mode unlocked. Well, you gotta imagine if they want people to keep, playing this game. You know what they did in okay, the way that what they did in WoW. WoW raiding was too hard for some people in WoW. There was not as many people raiding in WoW as they liked. What have they done since then? Made it easier to get in. Well, they have made the hard modes, which are good. I agree with those. Those are good. But they've made the normal mode raids easier and easier and easier and easier and easier and easier for people to get in. If Blizzard sees there's only one, or, no, excuse me, if Activision sees that there's only 1.9% of people in Inferno, what are they gonna do? They're gonna say we need to get more people in Inferno. There's one easy way to do that. Just make it easier. That's it. You know, people who can't do Nightmare, they want to make it easier for them, and Hell make it easier for them. Yep. Shoot yourself in the foot is the actual term. hmm Um, Zach, have you been playing Diablo any lately? Okay. Pete, have you been playing Diablo any? Oh, okay, so everybody here, Ball Nerds, has been playing a little bit here and there. Probably me, the least of all, but which is strange. But well, wait, trade characters? Is this something I've never heard of this? What trade is in sell or trade is in like trade for other characters? That's interesting because there's no replayability with other characters in this game. You know, it's not like oh my god, I wanna. I guess that's the only replayability there is because there's different genders. I think that's about it. If you like looking at chicks, make a chick the first time. You know, don't. Right, exactly. So check us out. We'll level up to 50 pretty quickly. Peter, do you have anything with StarCraft came out this week? Definitely. So there's actually some pretty, sounds like some good StarCraft changes coming up with the UI. I know Peter had a post on ballandnerd.com talking about some of the way the UI changes can affect the community and such. So go check those out, and you'll see what we're talking about. Also this week they came out with they released a Humble Bundle for basically you can set your own price and you can set how it's going to be split up based on the developers, charity, and uh, there was another one other setting, and you could pay however much you paid for. I picked up the bundle, and one of the games was actually Amnesia, The Dark Descent, which I already had, but I picked it up anyway just to see what else was on there. Obviously, it's the Humble Indie Bundle, so there's just some indie games. Uh, there's there was Bastion on there. There was Amnesia: The Dark Descent. There was Limbo, and there was Sword and Sorcery. I think is what it's called. There was Psychonauts, right? I completely forgot about that one. Yeah, Psychonauts. I've played the first, I don't know, 25 minutes of it, and that seems like it can hold its own. It's probably the third best game on there for me out of the five or however many. Yeah, there's five, and I think I'd rank that one in the third. with Amnesia being the first, Bastion being the second, and then Psychonauts, and then Limbo, and then Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery. Which I'm gonna. What'd you say, Peter? Yep. The obviously I've played Amnesia. I've streamed that one. I'm thinking if that so I think I want to try to see if Cody can actually stream that and have him stream. Because I can't stream League because the settings just aren't right. And Diablo, I can stream Diablo, but my FPS in game is like 8, which I don't understand. Um, so I can't. Those aren't gonna work. But Cody, what I'm getting at is Cody can't stream those either. Another guy for the site. But if he can stream Amnesia, we'll have him do that because he will freak out. He is like a 7-year-old kid when it comes to scary stuff. Like he watched my stream and freaked the fuck out. He wouldn't even be playing. He'd be watching me play and then freak out. He'd get up and run out the room, scream, alt tab, etc. Um, but I think that's that game could definitely hold its own. And then there's a Bastion, which there were DLCs, but I'm when I bought the game, it didn't come with any DLC. There was one DLC that came with it. As far as I know, there's not. But there's supposed to be like custom games that you can like download for Amnesia. I haven't tried any yet. I was thinking about trying some out. I think I had to let my psyche come back to normal. Still a little disturbed by the ending of all the privates in the end of that game. It's hanging out with my wang out, yeah. Uh, but in this bundle, Bastion came out. Have you played that one yet, Peter? Oh, okay, you played it over Christmas. I never played it. It came in this bundle. I tried it. I think it's pretty cool. How many hours of gameplay is it? Damn. Yeah. Cool. No. Yeah. It just seems like a hack and slash game for the most part. So there's a little bit of skill involved. You can like evade stuff and roll and block and different kinds of weapons and abilities. And you can drink your black tonics, which is just hilarious. Um, Also, there was a game in there called Limbo, which I hadn't before I played it. I didn't read anything about any of these games. I just wanted to just play it and just kind of figure it out. And Limbo was really hard for me to figure out at first. Not the game itself, the game like the controls or anything, just the way just the style of it. It's a little different. Well, it's different. I wouldn't say Limbo. What do you think about? What do you think? It's artsy. That's the term. What did you think about Limbo, Peter? Cheater. Yep. I just thought it was just a general maze, like there was no danger or anything until I stepped in like a bear trap and like my head like just popped off and blood flew everywhere. I'm like, what the hell? Like, oh, what? Emo game. I hate my life. But yeah, it's black and white. And, you're like laying there and like I'm like, what the hell is this? Because I didn't know what it's supposed to look like. And this little kid sits up and his eyes start to glow. I'm like, oh, guess I should run now. It is pretty neat though. So I'm gonna give it another shot. And then Psychonauts was also in this bundle, which I'm not sure how much gameplay is in that, but it seems a little bit more almost like a Crash Bandicoot where you're jumping and you can jump and do slams and slap things and pick up stuff and climb up and down. And what do you think about that one, Peter? Hmm. Yep. Um, and then there was also a game in there called Super Brothers, like Sword and Sorcery something. Um, and I played it. I probably gave it about 5 minutes, and I was just like, "What the hell is this?" And then I just went into work because I just didn't understand. I mean, it's it's weird. It's like it looks like it was made in the 70s. It's supposed to, and I thought at first I thought it was just like a music thing because I couldn't figure out how to get the damn game to start. Like there was just like this little like uh, record. Yeah, right. Like I don't understand what's going on. And then it's a different system. Like you point and click, and your little guy. It's like a side scroller kind of thing, and it's pixel graphics. It's definitely very different. Um, so that's pretty much it for that humble bundle. But you know, if it's still out there, so if you want to check it out, you know, there's some worthy games on there. So just pick it up. As it's already had I think what $2 million worth. So 1.5. Cool. Yep. Yep. So check that out. Pick it up for whatever. I guess you can name your own price. You know, you can target if you want it to go through towards the charity, towards the developers. Uh, so check that out. That's pretty much it for the games this week. Ian, do we have anything new coming up from the site late in the next week? Dead Space 3, yeah. What's up? Yep. Check us out. You have any recommendations, any comments, suggestions? Shoot us that email. We'll work it out for you if it's worthy. Obviously, if it's pictures of Zach dancing, we probably won't do that, but it's probably gonna be illegal. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening, listening in. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Check us out on ballnerd.com. We have some of the latest news stories, just the new hotness coming out. And from everybody here at ballnerd.com, thanks, and we will check you guys again next week. See ya.